Hi guys, it's Sister of Jeans, and I'm here to bring you another anime review. Now, the anime that I will be reviewing today is one that has just finished airing in Japan with 11 episodes called No.6. No.6 was produced by Bones and is of the science fiction and yaoi genre. Now wait, for you guys that absolutely despise yaoi because you're little homophobes, just listen to what I have to say really quick. This anime is considered a yaoi, but it's really not at all. It's more focused on its science fiction aspects and actually has a very good story. But before I blab on about how awesome this anime really is, let me just bring you to my synopsis. The story starts off in 2013 with a 12-year-old boy named Shion, who is an extraordinary student who has been granted to live in the high prospects in the city called No.6. It is Shion's birthday, and though he has everything that a kid can ask for and spends his day with his close friend Safi to celebrate his birthday, you can see that there is this emptiness inside of him, causing him to scream out in frustration. In a matter of moments, Shion's life changes when an injured boy around his age sneaks into his house and holds him up. Shion, instead of freaking out, takes sympathy towards the boy and decides to help him. He tends to his wounds, feeds him, and gives him a place to sleep even though Shion knows that he is a felon and he is wanted by the city, which can literally destroy Shion's status in No.6 if they're caught. But Shion doesn't regret that for a second, because he's made a new close friend named Nezumi. The day after, Shion is questioned by the government for helping the young felon named Nezumi and ultimately loses his scholarship along with his house and is demoted to a crook in the city. Then, next thing you know, it's 4 years into the future and Shion is now 16. After living the dull life working for the government security after being kicked out of school, he finds a dead, decayed body in the public park. While investigating the case with his coworker receives the attack and dies. And comes to find out that there is this strain of parasite bees that literally nest inside of you and eat you alive. After being exposed, he comes to question the government's actions in this situation when suddenly Nezumi comes to rescue him because now Shion is wanted behind bars for even thinking such a thing. Nezumi brings Shion to a whole new world, the city outside of No.6, which is a dull, broken down society on the outside. Shion learns to live in the outskirts with Nezumi and comes to see how, even though the outskirts of No.6 seem bad, it's really a normal community, and wants to continue his life with his friend Nezumi in the outskirts, while trying to save the city that drove him out from the attack that he regrettably had to endure. But how can he save such a place that his close friend despises so much without ruining their friendship? Now, enough with the story, because I want to leave the rest of the developing arcs for you to watch. So now we'll move on to the characters. Throughout the story, Shion starts off as a quiet, friendly, and naive type of boy that believes anything could be possible. Though Nezumi is the complete opposite and can only see black and white, with anger flowing through his veins. Nezumi overall is a very vicious person. Though as the story progresses, you see how both of these characters change each other 180 degrees, from not only the bonds created from their long-distance friendship, though the ongoing event in the story really does make an impact on their lives. Not only do you see in-depth to Shion and Nezumi, but you also see in a couple of other characters like Shion's mother and Safu, who start to see the dystopia of No.6, and the exiled townspeople like the Dog's Keeper, who were very nasty people who grew a soft side from Shion's perspective. The descriptive dialogue and the character depiction is probably the highlight of this whole series. The best thing of all is how you see how Shion changes throughout the story. Every character really did play an important part in this anime, and they did an awesome job with this. Next is the art and animation. It was produced by Bones, so do I really need to say more? They still show off their skill when creating the two completely different environments, and the reactions from me went from very eye-catching and beautiful to frightful, which is what I really like to see. Veering away from that, the opening and ending themes as well are awesome. Just watch the opening for yourself. It really makes you feel like you're flying. It's so cool. It has such a great feeling to it. And then in the ending, it feels so nostalgic. And actually, if you're to watch this and see how the story progresses, you'll start to see that the ending theme ties well with the story as it's developing. Which now brings me to the music aspect. The opening and ending themes were great, and the background music did go well with the scenes that it portrays. And there's actually a certain song that is played in this series, and it plays as a catalyst for the story, which makes it awesome how they mix that into the series. Overall, number 6 is a great series. Even though it's considered a yaoi anime, it's really not at all. The yaoi aspect really comes more towards the character development part, where Shion and Nezumi start to have an emotional bond from their friendship that started from when they were 12 years old. And them being really close just really shows how somebody can change another person. And spoiler alert, there's only 2 pecks on the lips, okay? 2 quick pecks on the lips from 2 boys. That's nothing. There's not even fan service in this anime at all, so having 2 boys peck twice is really no big deal. It really just goes along with the story that it has, and I'm telling you right now, the anime was just amazing, and the yaoi part was kind of necessary for this anime to make the character development right. So, it was necessary. So, I just wanted to clear that up. Even though number 6 was a great anime, there are 2 things that were a little to me. And they both come from the story aspect. And what I really mean is, even though the story was good, there's 2 things that kind of leave the story unanswered. And what I mean by that is, one arc of the story is where the parasite bees are trying to take over number 6. But I want to know who created the bees in the first place. And another thing that I want to know is, even though number 6 was considered a utopia, how did it become like that? It does go into a little bit detail in the story where there were a couple of people that created number 6, but why did they make it in such a way where it was different from the rest of the world? And if it was so strong where it had to destroy everything around number 6, like the outskirts, why didn't it just take that in, and why didn't it just make it, you know, its own territory? Why did it have to destroy everything and everybody around it? Which is what I want to know. But even though these 2 parts kind of come in out of nowhere and aren't explained in great detail, it still leaves the story off really good. And maybe because the manga is still ongoing, those 2 unanswered questions of mine, I guess you can call them, might be answered later on in another season if there is one. Which I hope there is, because honestly, if I have to give it a number, I would give number 6 probably 8.5 to 9. Because how they wrapped all that good shit in 11 episodes is beyond me, because it was great. And really, I think you should watch this. If you don't mind watching subtitled animes, then watch number 6, because it has action. The anime is beautiful. The animation's great. The characters are awesome. The story is complex and it is mature, and I think it is worth checking out. So, go do it. And then you can say to everybody that you have watched a yaoi anime before, even though it's really not. And I promise you that it's really not. And it's not gross or anything like that. It's just cool. It's just awesome. So, definitely watch it. Alright? So, that concludes my review. I hope you guys liked my review. I hope you guys will watch number 6. And I want you to comment and tell me if you have seen number 6 already. And tell me what you thought about it. Because I really think this is an anime that should be seen. It should go on. They should make another season. Because it was cool. Alright, I'm gonna go. So please just watch it.